to our Donkeys and Dragons video chat, where we spend about 15 minutes chatting about a specific topic. Today's topic is quality coaching in engineering, and our guest is Anne-Marie Charrett. We've known Anne-Marie for many years. She's been a leader in quality engineering, and we've been inspired by her keynotes. We've learned lots about a huge range of topics, including exploratory testing and observability in her workshops. We've always enjoyed reading her blog posts and more recently, her book chapters as she wrote her Quality Coach's Handbook. The book is now available for purchase, and we are excited to have her talk about it today. I'm Janet
You're
Gregory.
awesome.
And I'm Lisa Crispin.
And I'm Anne-Marie Charrett. Hi,
Yay.
ladies. How are you?
Yay.
And
So great to
welcome.
see you. Yeah.
We've struggled with our time zones a little bit, but we finally got together.
We did it. We did it. Hooray. Hooray. Anne-Marie, thank you
Can
so
I
much.
just say?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I just want to say what a powerhouse of women in the room right now. I just want to celebrate that. So,
That's so
yay.
true. That's so true.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you. We're so happy you joined us. And we know you have a busy schedule. You're a director of engineering as well as writing a book and getting the book published. And I think you're developing a course maybe too. I might have heard that. And I think you had the most unique and innovative way to write your book that I've ever seen for sure. I really enjoyed subscribing to your book and getting to read it chapter by chapter over time as you wrote it. I'm just wondering
Yeah.
how that process was for you and did it work as you hoped it would?
Yeah, I came to that process more out of desperation than anything else because I had tried to write this book 3 times. And I've gotten through a third of the book. And I kept on then having kind of anxiety moments like, oh no, this content is now out of date or I need to change it. So it's not ready. So I'm going to go back and rewrite that bit. Or, oh, I really don't know if this is the right structure. And should I be actually, framing it through this way or that way? And maybe I need to write it in a different angle. And so I'd start again. And honestly, I got to the 3rd time and I just went, you know what? I'm never going to finish this book. Like, I am never going. So I kind of thought, okay, well, what is it? How can I do it? And also, I got kind of the idea from Lean Pub, to be honest, the way they encourage you to write. But I wanted a way to keep myself committed to that. And that's sort of why the subscription model came to me. So I purposely wanted to keep it quite low. It's like I'm not committing to having, the content's going to be absolutely right, spot on. But I just, getting it out there once a month, making that commitment to put something out there, even though it's not really quite there, and just put it out. And it was really kept me on track with the writing. So that was amazing for me. It worked really well. Highly recommend it as an approach. And I think that whole thing about sort of how should I frame the book? Should it be, through the lens of an engineering manager? Should it be for a quality coach? Should it be, because there's so many potential stakeholders. I was like, well, all that came out of it, emerged out of it when I started looking at all the content written and realized, oh, actually, there's a theme here that's about this. And there's a theme here about what it means to be a quality coach. And then there's actually a theme about coaching a team. And that emerged out of it. And so I shouldn't have worried about, all this stuff at the start. It comes out eventually, it's like your body's telling you different things. And yeah. So, it highly recommend. And the added bonus, which I didn't realize when I was doing this, was at the end of it, you've got a whole heap of subscribers who have followed you and have been part of that process. And so they're emotionally involved in the book as well. And they want you to succeed. And it was so amazing to kind of have the community support me as I launched the book. I think that was really rewarding. I was surprised that I hadn't anticipated that angle, that it wasn't just me writing the book, it was us writing the book. And I think that was lovely.
Nice.
Yeah, I kept thinking about the whole time you were writing it, because when Lisa and I wrote our books, we did it completely different. And that's because there was 2 of us and we bounced ideas off. It's not something that would have occurred to me and I'm not sure it would work or not, but I'm doing something else right now that I'm kind of working on that sort of a process. So we'll see how it goes. I'm kind of excited. But
Yeah.
another unique aspect of your book is that it's a handbook. You intend for the readers to actually dip into different appropriate chapters depending what they want or need to accomplish.
Mm.
Can you tell us a little bit more about that approach?
Yeah, I think again, came out of the emerging as I was writing the book. So if you think about the book being written in terms of blog posts, it sort of lends itself to chunks of information. And I think this sort of came out, there's about 16 sections in the book, really. There is what it means to be a quality coach. There's the actual model of having a quality coach within a team, an organization. Then you've got sort of techniques on coaching, which is really important, as you are aware yourselves. And then there's, ideas about quality. Quality is emerging all the time and it's changing, and people's ideas of quality are completely changing backwards and forwards. And so I think it's important to have a section about what is quality, in this context. And then finally, it's like organization and what does it look like for an organization that has a model like this? And then, of course, one of the things I'm very passionate about, which is leading quality. I think like the fact that it's got different sections, all these different themes means you don't want someone reading it from start to finish. You almost want them to dip. I think that is sort of why I sort of ended up with the word handbook, because it's this concept of please use it when it's useful. And then there's a whole section on workshops. Like, you're not going to read a whole section about workshops. It's just going to be, I have a problem and I need to solve this problem. Is there a workshop in Anne-Marie's book that might help me with that? And then you can have a dip, right? So I think that's the sort of, if people use it like that, I'd be totally stoked, right? That would be great.
Yeah, I really like all the workshops that are there for so many different purposes. That's such a great advantage for people, because a lot of work goes into designing a workshop that really helps people learn. So we appreciate that.
Yeah, and I think it's really hard to see stuff, right? You just need some guardrails to get going. And the idea is not to really kind of use those workshops 100% as is, but to take them and create your own. That's why I created links, so people can actually take the template, copy the
Huh.
template, and then build their own workshop out of it, right? It's intended to be molded into whatever works. And somebody might sort of take that workshop. Actually, this doesn't work for my context at all. How about if I just tweak this, and then they've got something that works for them. So, I think that's the intent there with those workshops. It's sort of, please take them and use them as you like.
It's like, so the workshops, like so much else in the book, certainly for quality coaches, these are really useful, but I think that it can benefit people in so many different roles, quality engineers, test consultants, practitioners, people who just want to influence their team because they see a problem and they want to help solve it, whatever their title is. Do you see people with all these different job titles doing the coaching activities?
Oh, I hope so. Wouldn't it be an amazing world if they had all these people so passionate about helping improve quality? I mean, that would just, and seeing themselves in that picture. When I talk to engineering managers, I often see them, they're quite cautious about entering the world of quality. They almost feel like it's not their domain. Yeah, it's like, I don't know what to do, how do I talk to a tester? I'm like, well, it can be quite difficult for them. So I really wanted to kind of help them, that because they have so much influence on quality and they have so much of an impact on how decisions are made on quality, and they are untapped potential. So I think that's really one of the things in that book. It's designed for quality coaches, it's designed for engineering managers, it's designed for CTOs, because everyone is responsible for quality. And I think people, organizations are going to have to understand, if they want to go really fast, everyone's got to take part in doing this journey, and everyone's got to take a piece of the pie and play together. in order to be able to get the outcomes that we all want. So yeah, like it's for everyone. I mean, I got Kent Beck just the other day just gave me this amazing testimonial on the book. And, I
Yes.
think that's the idea is like everyone's here. Like we all need to be part of this.
That is
Okay, so
awesome.
it is. Um, before I forget, your book is on Lean Pub and it's already out. But and I think you said at some point that you're getting a print copy. At least I know you asked a question about that. So I want to
Yeah.
know if you're going to do a print copy, but also you also mentioned, I think I heard someplace that you might have a course based on that book, which would help
Yeah.
almost people.
Yeah, no, this so through Lean Pub, an online course is going to be the
Oh,
book is on Lean Pub at the moment, and they have an option to do an online course. So I'm
Okay,
working with those folks at the moment to actually get that converted into an online course. So that's going
good.
to be really amazing, exciting to see how that works out. I've done personally face-to-face training, and I will be intending to continue doing that. But I think there's also a real avenue for people who within organizations who are trying to do some online training within their work time. And I'm hoping that this will help them as well. So yeah, it's a bit of an
Good.
experiment. I haven't done this before, so we'll see what
I'll
that.
be excited. I'll be excited to hear.
Yeah, we'll have to share notes on this one.
Yeah.
And, I think the other one is the paperback. Lots of people have come to me and said, oh, I want a paperback version.
Mhm.
And so I'm like, okay. So getting that should be mid-July, paperback version out on Amazon and a hardback copy for those people who really want to have an everlasting copy of it.
Okay.
That'll be available too.
Okay.
So yeah, fantastic.
it's definitely the kind of book. I mean, for me, I want it on my desk with all my sticky notes sticking
Yeah.
out for the places I need to refer to.
Yeah.
That's why I like a physical copy like that.
Yeah, I mean, I love both, right? I think the benefit of the ebook is, you've got the links and you can
Yeah.
automatically click
Yeah.
and stuff like that. And for those who might little be a short-sighted, be able to zoom in is always useful. But I think, as you said, there's
Yeah.
nothing like having a physical on the desk, and
Yeah.
clearly that's what people want as well. So
I do
yeah.
have one more question though, so I'm going to interrupt you so we have time to get it in. We have a few minutes left. So I know the book is full of visual models because we're talking about them. Um, and of course, Lisa and I love visual models of any kind. And some of those are so innovative and creative. Um, and so how do you go about putting together a model that guides people for a specific purpose? Um, like the quality coaching dynamics model, for example.
Yeah, I'm so glad you brought that one up because that's one of my favorites too. I've been thinking, I mean, I've been thinking about quality coaching for years now, and sort of these models kind of again they emerge. They don't necessarily go, oh, I was trying to kind of get a concept down, and I had tried triangles and lots of geometric type
Yep.
shapes and the Venn diagram, the triangle, we use them all in tech. And but they just never felt quite right, and I wanted something that was part of me in a way because it's been such a journey. And at some point, I think it was a couple of years ago, came this idea of the Celtic knot, this because I have an Irish background, and this idea of I love Irish kind of Celtic art,
Mhm.
and this idea of the Celtic knot, which is it's a bit like the infinity loop, it's endless, this endless loop.
Yep.
And also, it's the power of three in the Irish, the Celtic knot. And so you've got sort of, like the Christian version of it is Father, Son, Holy Ghost or whatever. And then you've got the pagan version, which is land, sea, water, land, sea, and what's the other one? Air, of course. But and then I guess it's like, well, how can I take that in? And it's got a kind of slightly feminine side to it as well. And I want sort of that to be incorporated into my model. And I think that sort of then I could try to figure out how to get that together. And it was only just, 4 months ago that sort of interrelation between the Celtic knot and the Venn diagram came together. And it was really just why I like it is because it's that interrelationship, right? These things are constantly moving and changing. It's not like, oh, fix quality and this will work, or fix your team and then you'll be okay, or change how you coach and it'll be fine. It's like an interrelationship between the two, and it's a push-pull. It's forever changing, merging, molding. The team changes constantly. Every time someone leaves, you got a new team. It's never that clean cut. And that's why I like the Celtic knot, because it's that suggestion of it's something that you continuously work on and interplay with. So
I like that model even more now.
Yeah, and I was thinking that too.
So Anne-Marie, I'm really especially excited because I get to see you in real life and Agile Testing Days in November, and
Yay!
you and Fiona Charles are doing a tutorial called Expected to Be Quality. Is that going to have some content from the book? Or how does that relate to the book?
Look, maybe. No, absolutely. We will. There will be content. Fiona and I are really excited to come back together to do this workshop. I think we've only done one workshop together in the past, but I am such a fan of Fiona and her workshop and her approach to holding spaces. And really, I'm really excited. We want to help people who, quality. You go into the quality space and you got like maybe 2 years experience, and suddenly someone hands you change quality in the organization. And you're this person with 2 years experience that's expected to kind of somehow do all the things. And it's a huge responsibility and pressure. So I want to help that. We want to help that. And that's why we put this tutorial together.
Awesome. That sounds
That's
great. I
perfect.
hope people take advantage.
Can't wait to see you too.
Yeah. Sad. I won't be there.
I know, Janet.
Oh,
Not fair.
So sad.
But we're gonna have to cut it off. So I'm just it's always, that's the hardest thing is closing this down, because there's so many good things. But I'd like to remind you that you can find our books, Lisa and my books, and our courses and other things like that. You can look on agiletestingfellow.com. And you can get a hold of us. This is our contact information, and all of Lisa's and Marie's information and some links will be in the show notes at the end of this video. So thank you very much, Anne-Marie, once again.
Oh, thank you. So great
And
to
a
chat
great
to you.
talk.
Yes, fantastic. I know. See you.
Take care. It was good chatting.
See you soon.
Bye.